7 o'clock, folks. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to call this Board of Trustees, Village of Carpentersville meeting to order. And Terry, if you would, please call roll.
Trustee Burley.
Here.
Here. Trustee Humpfer.
Here.
Trustee Sabi.
Here.
Trustee Ritter. Trustee Schultz.
Here.
President Ritter.
And just to announce, President Ritter is either on his way or has landed in Southeast Asia, so that's why he's not here. I believe Trustee Rayberg's in New York City doing work, and Manager Rooney is in Tennessee attending a conference, so three of them are having quite contrasting cultural experiences today. So with that, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then Pastor Ball's going to come up for an invocation. So let's go ahead and get started.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we just come before you tonight, humbly before you, seeking your mercy and your grace. And God, we just take this time to thank you for this day you've given us. And Lord, we even thank you, God, for the weather and the beauty that we have to enjoy in our life, Lord. And so tonight we ask that you would just bless this meeting. God, you know the agenda, you know the plans. And Lord, we just pray that everything will be done to please you. And we're asking, God, that your will will be done on this earth as it is in heaven. And so, God, our plans tonight are your plans, and our direction tonight is your direction. So lead us and guide us to all truth. And we pray all these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Ball. Very nice. Okay, next item is proclamations, congratulatory resolutions, and awards. I don't think we have anything for that tonight. Appointments, confirmations, and administrations of oath. Nothing for that as well. Public comments. Terry, we have no public commenters tonight. So next item is a consent agenda. Whoever is going to make the motion, you're going to have to remove item P. All items listed on the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of those items unless a trustee so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. So remember, I need somebody to make a motion and remove item P. St. Paul.
To remove item P.
Second.
Terry, could you please call roll?
Yes.
Yes.
Sabi.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
President Humpfer.
Yes. Okay.
We should now take up. I would recommend we take up item P and just simply. My recommendation is just because this matter is not quite concluded that simply to take a motion to continue it to the next meeting. We do expect that this will be resolved by that time.
Okay. So what do you want us to do? Table it?
My recommendation would be a motion to continue the item P until the.
I recommend we continue item P till the next meeting.
I'll
Motion.
Second. I'll second.
And could we? We'll just do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. Okay. Next item is report of managers, officers, commissions, and staff. Sitting in for Manager Rooney is the most capable Mark Huber. So.
Nothing from the manager's office.
Oh, that's no fun. Okay. All right.
Spot down there.
Okay. Next would be commissions. Pat, do you want to?
Yeah, I've
the
got
lead on
some
parks?
things, Paul. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. First thing, we had our Parks meeting last Monday and discussed Arbor Day celebration, which is Friday, April 29th. Again, we'll be inviting Parkview School, the fourth graders to come. We've got a tree, and they're working on getting, excuse me, some of the little stuff that we do along with the saplings and everything. And our commission member, Don Quiner, does a wonderful job, so we're looking forward to that. And I believe it starts around 12:15 or so, after the kids have lunch.
9:30.
Oh, pardon me. Thank you, Bob. It was changed this year. I'm sorry. They have a half day at the school. My mistake. I'm sorry. So it'll be starting in the morning this year at 9:30. So thank you. I appreciate it. And then we talked about some other things. The Parks Commission is going to take a walk. Hopefully it won't be raining. Tomorrow at Keith Andrews, kind of assess what some of the needs are to get that park, cleaned up. There's some creek issues, a few things, but it's in tandem with the suggestion for the gaming revenue. So we take a good look at it and get that going. So that'll be tomorrow at 2 o'clock at the Sacramento entrance. So, and then also we move on to events committee. Oh, excuse me. Our next meeting, for the parks is May 9th at 6:30, Public Works. Events committee. So we've got a few things going on. We've got a meeting coming up the 21st. First thing I want to mention, again, to our residents, is that our first event will be the community yard sale, June 11th. It's $10 to bring a table and $15 to come on the day of. The forms and the waivers will be available online and also at Public Works, at the Finance Department if you want to come in and fill one out. Hoping to have another good turnout this year. Got maybe a couple little fun things that we're going to include with it this year, and it should be great. Let's hope for good weather. Rain date's June 18th, so let's hope we don't need it. Then also we have the continuing discussion about our Civil War event. There'll be a lot that we'll be talking about at the events committee. I'll report on that after at the next board meeting, but did want to make an announcement. Apparently, for those people that know, we have a wonderful benefactor here in town who let me know about a band that's quite renowned in historic circles. They're called the First Brigade Band. They can be kind of expensive. She's offered a wonderful donation to pay for them, and the Civil War unit was able to secure them, at which point the reenactors now are just coming out of the woodwork now that they've heard. There are 4 units that want to come from Wisconsin. So we could have 300 to 350 reenactors alone. This band has been playing for a while. They're a 42-member band. I don't know that we'll get all of them down here. They'll be here on Saturday. But what is so unique about this band is not only the repertoire and the songs that they play, all of their instruments are from the Civil War era. So they'll be giving like a little historic presentation, too, on those instruments. Apparently, this is a real coup for Carpentersville. So I'm really excited to...
What's the date again?
That'll be August 6th and 7th. And they'll be here only on Saturday, on the 6th. They won't be here on Sunday. But there's a fife and drum unit that'll be here on Sunday. So we have lots to talk about when we meet. And then I just kind of wanted to mention, too, that we had a park cleanup. Keith Andrews did. Adam Partridge from H2O Church organized that Saturday morning. We met at the Austin Park entrance, and it was the typical winter blowing trash, but I think they had like 30 bags worth of trash, I guess, and he had about 15 to 20 volunteers, so it went pretty quick. And I actually took my grandson down there. I had to leave because I had grandson duties, and took him down there Sunday morning, and it looked really nice down there. So the park it just wasn't like it used to be, where you needed 2 days to clean it up. It's kept up, and so it goes so much quicker. I did stop on the way home. VFW was doing Lake Marion cleanup, and thank them for their efforts too. It looks a lot nicer over there too. So that was kind of nice. And I just wanted to mention one last thing, if I could. There's confirmation for movies in the park. There's 4 dates this year. June 3rd is the first one. That's a Friday, and that movie is Inside Out. June 8th is also a Friday. That's Minions. On July 29th, there'll be Star Wars. they were able to get the latest Star Wars. So that should be a nice crowd that night, out and underneath the stars.
And June 3rd and June 8th?
June 3rd, excuse me, July 8th. My
July.
mistake. I'm sorry. Thank you, Ginger.
Thought they were too close
Yeah,
together.
that's Minions. July 29th, though, same month for Star Wars. And then August 26th will be Zootopia. So some nice movies in the park this year. So,
Pretty well attended last year, as I recall.
yeah. So, but I think there's a lot of areas that have been looking to get Star Wars, because I think it'll be a nice crowd that'll come. So that's kind of good to know. That's all confirmed, and we'll have those ongoing. And so, later on, Mark Huber will give a report on yet another event that's coming to town. And so I think we'll have a nice summer down there. So, and more to come as we work on it. So
Well, that's really good news.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Jeff or Ginger, could you maybe substitute in for Kevin for audit and finance? Maybe just give us a flavor of what happened.
Nothing to report from Audit and Finance.
I second that.
You guys are great.
There was one thing that stood out in audit and finance, and that was the, in my mind anyway, stood out, was the ambulance collections. I thought that was pretty good, that we've started to collect some monies there. And of course, we're going to have to write some of that off, but it was a great discussion about that. I think we're heading in the right direction. So that's what I have to report from that.
Thank you, Don. That's very nice of you.
I don't have any notes with me.
Yeah, I guess
Well,
I sprung that on you.
They did a Carpenter Park update. They're going
Yes.
to every agenda, Paul, and that has to do with whether or not we're going to be getting the grant anytime soon. Jeff shakes his head no, from the state. But want to keep that, I guess, he wants it ongoing on the agenda, just so folks know that they're still holding us hostage down in Springfield. So, and Bob did read a letter, and I guess we really probably should have maybe read it tonight for our viewing audience at home, but I believe it was from the IDNR, wasn't it? That pretty much kind of stated that if we did anything in the park, we would probably lose that half of the grant. And I thought there was another line in there that left it rather broad, and I pointed it out, that at any time they could change the criteria. So, yeah, even after all this waiting, something could happen. So, and anyway, those were a couple of things that I remember too. So, but some really good and a great presentation again by Hitesh and Katrina, for budget and for that.
Perfect.
So,
Don, do you have
One other
anything else?
thing that was brought up was the budget amendments were brought up that were passed tonight, but one of the things that has come up is that new piping for Village Hall here. We've had some problems with leaking pipes and stuff like that, and some mold remediation. So we're going through all that, but those were emergency repairs that have to be done. So we had to add that to the budget. Just so I'd bring that up. That's kind of important. Might be a little cool in here tonight because there's no heat. Is that right, Bob? There is no heat. Okay, well, that's not bad. It's not bad. So.
I brought my own.
Did you? So anyways, that's all I have there.
And that pipe is just in the crawl space? Is that the
Yes.
only section we're replacing? So it's not like it's a whole building getting repiped.
Right.
It's one specific section.
Yeah, and underneath all of this.
Don, any commissioner reports for you?
Let's see. Jelkie's Creek, next meeting, May 2nd. And sometime in May will also be a Quadcom meeting. I'm sure Mr. Kilborn will advise me of that. Yes. Thank you. That's it.
That's it. We had the second part of our special joint meeting of the Village Board of Trustees, Audit and Finance, Parks, Business Development, and this was on the rebranding effort. Planning and Zoning was there, Parks was there, Special Events Commission was there. So really, we're going to get a report back from the consultants that we hired to help us through this process. And, just at a high level, we focused on what some other towns are doing, rebranding statements that they've had, efforts that they've done, what's it cost them, to kind of compare and contrast what we want to do here. And then went over some of the things that are important with rebranding. It's a community promise. we have to be strategic in what we do, why we're doing it, what is the outcome that we hope to achieve, and then selling it from there. So, and I just want to keep it at a high level until I don't want to steal their thunder, because I think they're going to come back and give us a polished report that I know I'm looking forward to receiving, and taking that and determining what our next steps will be to try to implement that. So that was good. We had that on April 6th, and again, a fairly long meeting. I don't think we got out of there until 10 o'clock. So, but overall, I thought the entire process was successful for those that attended. I really appreciate it. We had some residents attend too. They were able to participate with the process. So overall, I thought that was well done. Okay. Did I miss anything? Any other commissions, reports? All right. We have no old business. We do have 2 items on new business. And first item is Slide the City special event approval. And I suppose you want to take that over, Mark.
I'd be happy to. Mayor Pro Tem Humpfer. All right.
Staffing agency. It sounds like a staffing agency.
It does, doesn't it? So what we got before the board now is just a special event request by a group, as you see up there, Slide the City. Slide the City, the representatives were going to be here this evening. Fortunately, they had other conflicts, so I'm standing in on, this is information from them and their PowerPoint. So staff has met a couple times on the permit request to review that, so I'll go through what they have planned and what they're going to bring to the table and answer any questions. So there's a video on here that they're using for their advertising for the 2016. So if you don't mind, just play that, please. On there, there was 3 separate paths you could go down. I think it's important to note, it's not brought up later, but one's the fast lane and others are slower lanes. So, if you've got
A little one, yeah.
The smaller children. The target market is 18 to 35, but there really is no age limit. It's 5 years up. So they do have a slow lane for those that are, a little more risk adverse. But so the event is planned. You see some stuff there. Just a weekend event. July 23rd is the first day. The 24th will be the second day, assuming they have good sales. The couple of other points, they do it worldwide. There was one in Algonquin last year. You can go on to YouTube and search for it, and you can see where they conducted it. In Algonquin, it was done on the Old 31, essentially from the bypass, the north end of the bypass, to the north end of the downtown there, in that neighborhood. They're going to, they call it as a festival, but they're going to put out invites to local vendors and, you know, a DJ, and they're gonna have, a couple vendors there. No beer, that's the choice of the village. We recommended at this point that there not be any alcohol sales. But it's free, it's only charged for using the slide. And the charges actually vary. I don't recall if it's later in the PowerPoint, but I'll get to that if it's not in the PowerPoint. I'll give you the totals. Yeah, it varies.
It was
There's
$10 to $40, I think he said.
depending on the
She
level
said,
of.
yeah.
This is just some of the listing. You can't see it very well. The 2015 events that they're doing. You see there's Peoria. They're really all over the country. Milwaukee. So, as I said before, the proposed dates are the 23rd and 24th. 24th would be based on how they do with the marketing up front.
You're seriously going to go down Maple?
Yeah.
Not from the top.
Not from the top. There's a map coming up. so
Close
we'll
enough.
Yeah.
Rosewood.
Actually, Paul, that would be, I think, fun. What we saw, to me, looked like a flat one.
We better
And I think coming down Maple would be awesome, because it's got the
better check our
curve.
liability insurance before we.
Yeah, I think we do, yeah.
You have
yeah,
to provide the insurance.
Yeah.
They had actually thought Maple was great. They initially proposed to do it on Main Street.
I was going to suggest Maple, but tongue in cheek. I said,
No,
Sounds a good idea.
it's a great road to
They
do
were going to
it.
do it on Main Street from Route 31 to Lincoln previously.
We were gonna close off the road.
The road just, it's not good for closures.
No.
yeah, Main Street from 31 down to Lincoln.
Yeah.
Right into the river.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right over the bridge. So some of the logistics, so what it's going to entail basically is closing the road probably, really early in the morning, and then they set up that same day, so it's not a lot of time. They're providing all the trash, the restrooms, fencing, et cetera. They'll be getting a water meter from us to hook it up. We've gone through a lot of the details. Event starts at 9, and they'll be out of there by the 24th at 11 if they go both days. So here's the map showing the tentative details and locations. Obviously, starting, like I said, the entrance up at top, and closing it off, only closing the road just prior to Tamarack there, so you can access the businesses, public works, et cetera. They're working out coordinating parking for everybody, obviously Village Hall and availability, and as well as they're going to try some of the businesses down on Maple for parking too. But they provide the first aid, but they're going to pay for a couple of EMTs. They're going to pay for police coverage. They do use some water, but they need a generator and blower, and that's probably not going to be the location of them. But yes, they thought Maple would be a great location, so that's why there's a
It'd be
fast
a lot
lane.
of fun. Yeah.
The whole thing's going to be fast.
It'll be quick. It will be quick.
I just think they've got the new bike path there to walk up then.
Yeah, that's
On
part.
side there, yeah.
Yeah, they'll fence off both sides.
No ski lift?
Well, and actually, they did say they might provide shuttles if they need to. The availability's there for them to do that, yeah,
I like
for
it.
parking, yeah, so.
Yeah, we're looking at the parking situation, in the neighborhoods, obviously, and posting those no parking to at least some extent. We do have 3 residents on Maple that would be impacted, and we're trying to contact them now. They would not have access, at least during the day, but we're trying to find some way where they'll be able to get in there while it's closed at night at a minimum. But we're going to work that out with those residents, see what we can do. So this is just some of the details they provided. You had a question about the insurance. Obviously, they have the insurance, and that's part of our requirements. They have to provide that. So they do line it with padding and the bumpers on the side, as you saw in the video. So we'll have police, and they'll be paying for the police and the EMTs. And as you see there, that's why they chose Carpentersville. They thought that hill was steep and it would be fun. So assuming that it's a successful event, they would like to make it an annual event too.
Yeah.
And then, who knows, you can actually make it a festival down the road, assuming
Yeah.
it's successful, and we can get more people and vendors to attend, whatever the board would like to do. So, as I said, these are the next steps in getting it done. And right now, we're just before the board to request that you approve, make a motion to approve this special event and the closing of Maple, obviously subject to further staff approval and coordination with the residents. They want to start the marketing because that's why we need approval at this time, subject to some of the details, so.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so. That's all I had.
Any questions?
Sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Okay, we need a motion and a second.
A motion.
I'll second.
Hey, Terry, could you please call roll?
Trustee Stevens,
Yes.
Trustee Humpfer,
Yes.
Trustee Sabi,
Yes.
Trustee Schultz,
Yes.
Trustee Brewer.
Yes.
Okay. Next item is approval of community improvement projects. Mark, you can take that?
Yeah, I actually thought, did you have a list of the projects? I'm
What
sorry,
projects?
Trustee Schultz, yeah, it's not, I
What
don't,
projects are we speaking about, Mark?
yeah,
Do we know?
I'm failing open on this one. I'm not sure what the improvement projects were. I thought they were,
Oh, you're talking about for the gaming room?
yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, we don't have that.
Not ready
There were-
yet? Okay.
No, not ready yet. Jeff's not here, but I did review them with him. There were some requests that, like somebody wondered how a neighbor's house could get painted, so I've sent Mr. Pozell an email. There were a few code things that really didn't come under the right category, and so we're reviewing a few of them still.
So we're not ready for the-
And the park walk will be part of the larger one for Keith Andrews,
You want us
so.
to continue that? to
I'm
the
sorry,
next
Mark, I
meeting?
didn't,
Not yet,
I
no,
thought you
I'm-
were talking about something else, I'm sorry.
Oh, my
Meeting
fault.
I think is appropriate.
Yeah, we
I
can,
never saw the list and I wasn't sure.
yeah,
so
Do it
so
indefinitely.
to be
I didn't
continued.
follow up on it.
You can
Yeah.
do that, yeah. Just motion to continue it to a date
Still
uncertain.
new business, right?
So, I do need a motion to, because it's on the agenda.
Yeah, to
Continue
continue
it.
it? I'll make that motion to
Continue
continue.
to a
it.
date uncertain?
Yes, please, a later date, yes.
I'll second.
You can voice vote.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Noes? Okay. All right, and next is trustee reports. Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead, Jeff.
First of all, sorry for missing the last meeting. I was out of town for a funeral. To follow up on what Pat said earlier, a thank you to Adam and the H2O Church for coming out this weekend to clean up Keith Andrews. I actually went and helped out for about an hour and a half, and there's a lot of trash there, not from people dropping trash. A lot of it just blows in there, but it was very nice of them to come out and do a cleanup. It's a beautiful park. It's amazing how many people I meet who live 5 blocks away and have no idea that it's there. So it's something we really need to start getting out there because it's amazing. It's
Further
a
rebranding, folks.
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
It's a beautiful area. Also, I got a text and was contacted by one of the firefighters that they are interested. They obviously, there's a lot of people who are interested in the park, and the firefighters are like, "Hey, we would love to get together some money and buy the basketball hoops if we don't get that money." So, like I told them right now, it's like we would love to have the basketball hoops right now. We'd love to have the help, but unfortunately, we can't do anything until we know what's going on with this grant, or we might lose all of it. But I appreciate them reaching out, and we might be contacting you in the future if this doesn't come through pretty soon, because we're going to have to do something here. It seems like it's getting more and more dire, and people want to use the park. So, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Pat?
Well, I just want to kind of just reiterate, just so folks know, and thanks, Jeff, for pointing that out, because I think people think nothing's going on in the park, and I just want to let folks know that the board decided we were not going to delay events this year. Staff was in agreement, so let's sort of run through. So June 11th, we'll have our 3rd annual community yard event, which will be really nice. Then on July 16th, there'll be the Fest on the Fox over at the auto parking lot. On July 23rd and 24th, as you saw, we'll have Slide the City. August 6th and 7th, we'll have a Civil War reenactment in the park. August 19th, 20th, and 21st, Oddfellows are doing the Oddfellows Rock the Fox Music Festival. And then we'll probably go, before we know it, it'll be time for Oktobercross. So we've got a nice little slate of events.
Plus the movies.
You're right. Thank you, Ginger. And then those 4 movies that are on Friday nights. And we'll get some further confirmation, but we are also looking at our schools have approached us, And it's looking like we're going to probably, the Rotary Club is going to sponsor a kickoff for the bands, our jazz band and orchestra, for a Thursday night concert in the park, which would be really great. And there's a group that are looking to pull the high school bands and possibly do their jazz band orchestras, and they're really looking favorably at Carpenter Park. And that would be a weeknight also then in July. And the events committee, I've offered to partner with them so that we could maybe have ice cream. Pastor Ball left, but I found out he has a popcorn machine. So I met with him, and he'll be there for the yard sale, probably for everything else. His youth group will come, and they'll use it for whatever they need it for. So we can partner up, and we'll have that. So it is really a nice, very nice, I think, slate of events coming up with the park that has us all aggravated at the moment with the state. But nevertheless, we're moving forward, and I hope everybody comes. Any questions, email any of the trustees. Let us know, somebody at Special Events Committee, and we'll certainly do our best to market it and get the word out. So, and that would conclude my report.
Great, thank you. Thank you for that very positive report, Pat. Don?
Yeah, excuse me. Thank you for that report, Pat. Yeah, a lot of things happening this summer. It's going to be a good summer. We've had a little bit of a taste of the weather here just recently, which has just warmed us all up, I suppose. And I'm looking forward to a lot of these events. I believe that Civil War reenactment is a big coup for us. I really do. And now tonight with this Slide the City, I can hardly wait to go down the slide. Okay? Really put my Speedo on and get out there in an inner tube. And
Camera's ready.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not shy.
Can we make a motion against that?
Yeah.
I second.
But anyways, just wanted to comment on the rebranding meeting that we had. I thought it was, I had missed the first one, but I was able to attend the second meeting. And, I was kind of hesitant, like, oh, boy, this is going to be kind of boring. But it wasn't. It was very interesting. I learned a lot about how this process is, and I just really enjoyed the heck out of it having gone through it. So I just wanted to make that comment. And that's about all I'll have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Ginger?
I just have a couple of announcements tonight. The Carpentersville Police Department is holding a bowl-a-thon. Proceeds are benefiting Special Olympics, and this is going to be held Saturday, April 30th at 7 o'clock. It's open to everybody. It'll be held at Liberty Lanes. Registration starts at 6 p.m. The event starts at 7. Donation will include your bowling shoes, food, and a T-shirt. Cash bar will be available. Any questions, you can call Joe Pilarski at 224-293-1700, or you can go to Facebook. Where's the best?
It's facebook.com/CvilleSO.
Or you could scan this little thing down here. Can you scan that?
QR code.
Okay. And the other announcement is, again, for the police department, drug take-back. These events are being held more often than they, I don't know, we've had, 3 or 4?
3 a year. Try to do 3
Okay. They've all been very successful. And again, this one is April 30th, same day as the bowl-a-thon, from 10 o'clock to 2 p.m., right out here at these doors. Joe will meet you in the lobby here. Bring your expired, unwanted, or unused medications, no liquids, no illegal drugs, and no needles. Again, April 30th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I guess I could show this too.
Thank you, Ginger.
You bet. My pleasure.
Thank you, Police Department, for doing that. So, including Special
Anything else,
Olympics.
Ginger? Yep. Right. Hart, did you have?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, with this drug take-back event, please, please, please do not throw your drugs into your toilet and down your sink. It gets into our water supply, and we've had number of talks about that at Audit and Finance over the years. So please attend one of these and drop them off there, because it does cause problems down the road, down the river.
I have to tell you, last time they held one and I came in with my little bag of expired medication, and some lady came in with a huge bundle, like 3 great big trash bags full of drugs, all expired, and it's just amazing to me. So please.
Paul, may I say something?
Yeah, go right ahead, please.
Also, it's targeted towards getting those medications. We've all gone to the dentist, or we've all had some minor surgery where you've been given some type of pain medication, and you may not run through that. And those pain medications, although may not be out of date, you don't want them sitting in your medicine cabinet to be potentially misused by someone visiting your house.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. Just to follow up on Don's comment about the rebranding efforts, I'm looking forward to that report coming in, but I do agree I thought it was very worthwhile. We broke up into groups and kind of selected 4 different areas. They were provided to us. Basically our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And, we had a chance to run through those and address them directly, and then bring that back to the group and discuss it. So I think we gave them a really good overview of where we think the village is, where we think, these areas where we have strengths, where our weaknesses are, as well as the opportunities and threats. I think we're very honest with them. A lot of that's based on what we're hearing from residents. I know, we're out in the community. I get stopped at Woodman's. I'm sure many of you do, at different places throughout the community. We learn these things, from our residents. So it's always helpful. The emails help too as well. But I am looking forward to moving forward with that process and coming back with something formalized. I know Trustee Rayberg contacted all of us during the week, saying he has some thoughts on kind of a way to make this work, kind of a game plan to institute this process. So I'm looking forward to hearing from him.
And Paul,
Sure.
are the consultants that we had there, I thought it was good that they actually went out on into the community themselves, drove around, looked down around the river, looked at some of the parks, some of the neighborhoods, to give them a really good idea too, so, and I agree, it holds some promise, there's no doubt about it, with everything that's going on. I'd say, why wouldn't you be living in Carpentersville? Not why would you live in Carpentersville, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So.
There's a lot of projects that are coming up that I think will help improve the community
Yeah.
even more. The intersection of Main and 31, that's going to
Yeah.
going to begin the process of reconstructing that intersection. That'll probably happen fairly soon, I would think.
Can we say the announcement that Walmart's grand opening is June 23rd, we're told? Or 22nd? Oh, I thought it said 23rd.
The manager was here last.
Oh, I thought in the email it said 23rd.
We got an email that said the 23rd.
Yeah, they did.
It's 22nd.
Okay, well, the 22nd, so, yeah.
I got the 22nd. I don't know what they were thinking about.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't want you to be there, but
Well, he was here, he said the 22nd. I wrote it down, and then shortly after we did.
Yeah,
that
it said the 23rd, yeah.
They are expecting a lot of people to show up
Yes.
at that first day. That weekend is, what was the number?
Well, we talked about maybe on a Saturday in July, after they've been open a little bit, maybe Civil War guys could maybe set up a table, pass out flyers, and I was told by the manager they're expecting 15 to 20,000 people per day on a Saturday. Per Saturday, rather.
We bring the cannon over there too?
They asked, and I have to find out from Walmart. They could park one in the parking lot. So, but you know, Paul, just one little last thing, I'll mention it again, but when we have our fireworks here on June 24th or 25th, on a Saturday, the Civil War reenactors were invited to bring their cannons. So we'll be having their cannons going off along with the fireworks from our park district that night. So, and they should be out there in uniform and, you know, so.
Great.
Yeah, so, but yeah, maybe at Walmart, we'll see. I don't know what Walmart will say.
Well,
But, you know,
it'd be nice to have in two parts of town,
yeah, yeah.
but we'll see. Okay, so with that, that's all I had as well. We do we have a closed session tonight? Oh, how nice. All right, so probably going to take about a 10, 15-minute break, bathroom break, and then we're going to begin a discussion concerning other village business. And tonight's focus will be on dangerous breeds of dogs. Dangerous breed of dogs. Boy, that's a mouthful. We'll talk about that. Let's take a 5-10 minute break, and then we'll reconvene. Okay.
Very good.
All right. So with that, well,
A motion?
You can just declare a recess for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, we'll take a 10-minute recess and then circle back then.
Excellent.